Secondly, I would like to explain the new leadership, why new leadership is needed. Obviously, because of the multiplying soft issues in the contemporary international world affairs, we need for an alternative leadership that could replace the hard leadership by great powers. First, in addition to the U.S. hegemonic leadership, because the U.S. is the only hegemon in the world, there's a growing need for an alternative leadership in international relations that can offer new initiatives and offer a reform agenda. In the theories of international relations, hegemony refers to the ability of an actor with overwhelming capability. If you think about the US or former Soviet Union or former the UK, to shape international system through both coercive by physical force or non-coercive diplomatic means. Examples are the Great Britain in the 19th century, and Great Britain lost hegemony after World War II. In the 20th century, the US and the former Soviet Union, and 21st century, US alone. These are the hegemonic countries, and they exercise the hegemonic leadership. But in addition to these hegemonic leadership, we need an alternative leadership to deal with soft issues that are multiplying, particularly in the 21st century. And then, what is the essence of new leadership? The essence of new leadership is non-structural. It's not coercive or it's not physical. And the new leadership does not intend to create new rules or new rules of the game for international order or new rules for cooperation among the countries. Also, it does not challenge the leadership of great powers because they are good citizens, good followers with some economic capability and managerial skills. So they could exercise new leadership instead of the hard leadership or structural leadership by great powers. And then, what is structural power? Structural power in international relations is the power to decide how things shall be done, how things in international affairs should be done or must be done. These rules are made by the great powers or particularly the hegemonic power. And also, structural power is a power to shape frameworks within which states relate to each other, rules of the game among the states, and relate to people to people. There must be some rules in the relation of the people, or relate to corporate enterprises. All those rules in the state affairs or among the people and among the corporates, business, all these rules are made by the structural power. Professor Susan Strange has once argued that structural power in the international relations has 4 dimensions. First, security dimension. It deals with security problems, security matters. Second, it deals with production. It could be a production by the politics or production of economy or any productions. All these rules are made by the structural power. Finance, how the money is created or how the money flows, or how the money is saved, all those things, finance and monetary things, all these things that are related with money are made by structural power. And knowledge too, knowledge. So according to Susan Strange, structural power deals with everything in the world. Security in politics, military field, or production in politics, or economy, finance of the country's economic policies, or Federal Reserve banks and everything, and knowledge, how the people think about the world, about the politics, about the people, and about the business corporations. That's what the structural power is all about. And third, no global public goods. In other words, the middle powers do not create global public goods. This leadership does not produce the global public goods. And then, what is a public good? In economics, a public good is the same as the collective good. It's a good of both non-excludable and non-rivalrous. Good example. Let me give an example first. What about fish in the oceans? Any boats, any ships can access to those fish. And so users cannot be barred from accessing or using them, or for failing to pay for them. Anybody can catch fish in the ocean. Also, use by one person neither prevents access of other people nor does it reduce availability to others. If one ship, huge ship, catches fish, it cannot exclude other ships to catch other fish. So the good can be used simultaneously by more than one person, more than one subject. The fish is a good example. But what about a lighthouse? To catch a fish is a little different from the concept of lighthouse. A lighthouse is built by a government or local government or a provisional government. And this lighthouse, the light of lighthouse, can be utilized by all the ships that are passing by without paying anything. It's free. Obviously, it's a collective good. What about parks? In cities, the city government or central government or provisional government purchased a piece of land and established a park, and everybody can go in the park and consume the parks. They're taking a walk, or taking fresh air, or having a picnic, or lying down, take a nap, or they jog whenever they want to. And some brilliant real estate people make apartments or houses nearby and naming the Park View Apartments. It's free. The parks are used free. In other words, in public good, or public goods, or a public good, they're always a free riders. They don't pay, but someone else has paid it already. National security, internal security too. People pay tax, and the local government or central government provides security for the people. And people are consuming the security. That's a public good. And then what about global public goods? Global public goods are a little different notion, but essence of public goods are same. Global public goods are goods with benefits and cost potentially extend to all countries, people, and generations. So global public goods have two meanings. First, public. It is public in the sense that they are public as opposed to private. What is private goods? Now I have a pen with me. In order to consume this pen, I paid for this. It's my private good. If you want to use my pen, you need my permission, but without it, it's a theft. So I monopolize its consumption of private good. So public good can be shared by many people. Sometimes they have to pay or it's free to use them. In the second sense, public goods are global as opposed to national. I will give you some examples of the global public goods. Free trade. How about that? The global free trade system is created and maintained by the United States. The US government pays a great amount of money in order to maintain this free trade system. It inspects all the people and punish the deviators or fault players. And the second example could be nuclear non-proliferation. The current North Korean nuclear problem is not just a matter of North Korean and US relations, because North Korea is challenging American hegemonic leadership that is producing a global public good. Nuclear non-proliferation, anti-piratism, anti-terrorism, free voyage to any oceans you want, or clean environment. All these are examples of global public goods. Most of them are provided by America and maintained by America. Those public goods are provided by a hegemonic country, at present the US, and all the countries consume them. All the countries that consume the free trade system, nuclear-free world, no pirates, no terrorists, terrorism, a free voyage, and clean environment, etc., etc. Always in the concept of global public goods, they always free ride problems rise. In other words, some countries do not pay or do not abide by the rules or norms of each global public goods. And consensus and cooperation. Middle powers intend to only marginally reform or change international order, marginally. A slight change, not major change in the international order and international environment. And their leadership focuses on inducing consensus and cooperation of the countries involved. So with non-coercive means. Always middle power diplomacy seeks for consensus and cooperation from the countries involved. So middle powers never attempt to share or encroach the US structural power. Instead, they provide creative initiatives and leadership with entrepreneurial flair and technical competence. So they know what they can. And also they clearly know what they can't and what they can.